All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault Gaming. Xvault here, and yes, you're in for your second dose of the Salty Batch Files. Now, we're in the midst of a PlayStation 5 Pro pandemic, so to speak, in regards to the fanboys of both the Xbox Elitists and both the PC Elitists out there going absolutely bananas, going absolutely nuts, pocket watching, you name it, as you've seen in the past video here. But boy, do we have some more examples here for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I was saying, we're going to do is get right to the salt. As always, we're going to get right to it. The first time featuring this individual, Blandrew. Let's take a look right up here for you, of course. Now, this is actually a Nintendo fanboy, so just kind of a little bit of background and context for you here. But he states, anybody buying the PS5 Pro is an enemy to gaming. We can't accept that. What? Oh my gosh, what is going on here? You're an enemy of gaming. So you supporting the gaming industry by wanting to get more power, but we didn't say anything about the PC folks that want to continually upgrade their systems that have been also overpriced, whether it be Nvidia or anybody else, right? In the mix, we all know those have also been, especially at the time of release, inflated to the nth degree, of course. But again, if you are buying a PlayStation 5 Pro specifically, you're an enemy of gaming. No, enemy of gaming, sir, is you, and I'll have to find those examples because they're out there. Supporting Nintendo Labo, actual cardboard, markups and inflation for actual cardboard, ladies and gentlemen. But the PS5 Pro is where he draws the line here. Not to mention this awesome guy. Again, I'll have to grab those receipts. They're readily available. But he also bought multiple, and I mean multiple different Nintendo Switches just because they were different colors. But please continue to pocket watch those that want to spend their money on a PlayStation 5 Pro. I'm sure that'll work out great for you. But let's keep going on here. So now it's affecting, like I said, even the Nintendo fanboys here, but we're back with Destin. Destin's here. Let's take a look at Destin here. He says, hot take, Xbox needs to announce their rumored handheld ASAP and talk about how it doesn't focus on ray tracing, allows you to play more games the way you want, and offers a very cheap point of entry into gaming, just a complete counter to what the PS5 Pro is. Have you seen anybody else, and I'm sure we will here in just a moment, but so salty, so upset that they're like, please, Microsoft, pull out that holy grail of a handheld that's a cheaper entry. We have the Steam Deck, we have the ROG Ally, we have everything else. I don't see where Xbox is going to fit in with the handheld area. Maybe they'll be great. I don't know if that ends up being true, but the odds are not in their favor. If it works out, great, but latch on to, again, something out of thin air. You don't know that this is happening for sure. You're just hoping because you're like, this PS5 Pro is just too much for us. Please, Microsoft, save us. Save us. What is this guy doing? It's so pathetic. It's so pathetic, folks. You love to see it. At least we have the content here. But let's keep going here because I have another great example here from Destin. Now, this is a quick video here I want to show you. He has, of course, a member from Digital Foundry coming onto the IGN site, and the video and the interview and stuff like that, as you can see here, but quickly shuts him down in comparison to what you would need on a PC in order to, you know, get the same effect as you would with a PlayStation 5 Pro. Go ahead and take a look here.
Maybe I should just go to PC at this point because this is quite expensive.
Yeah.
What do you imagine that would cost?
Probably a fair bit more. I mean, you need to have the GPU that you're going to need. I mean, if you consider a holistic view of all of the different components, the enhanced ray tracing, no AMD GPU has that at the moment. The machine learning block, no AMD GPU has that. It's almost like essentially an NVIDIA style feature set, but made by AMD. And the closest equivalent GPU you'll be looking at would be the RTX 4070. The 4060 is quite close to base PlayStation 5, factoring out machine learning and ray tracing. So you're looking at a 4070. I looked on, I think it was Amazon yesterday, Amazon.com, and the cheapest one of those is $540. So beyond that, you've got to get a CPU, a motherboard, memory, power supply, case, 2 terabyte SSD. So it is going to the costs are going to ramp up, right?
Oh man, you love to see it. You love to see it here. What a great shutdown. Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy that. Please enjoy that. If you need to take a moment, pause the video, just relish that fact that he got shut down, maybe even, continually pause during that and see his heart shattering in his face, basically right there. I love it. But we're not done with Destin here. We're not done. I know we're going to do a Destin overload on the salty batch files here, but it just doesn't stop. He just keeps making himself look like a moron, and here we are. But example number 3 at this point, right? Are we losing track already? Destin states, it was very nice of PlayStation to announce they won't have any games this year, so we could all save that money and be ready for the PS5 Pro, am I right? Obviously a little bit of satire here, but let's keep going on this here. So Astro 2024, dude is on his 32nd playthrough of Hellblade on his sparkly $600 Xbox, seething about PlayStation. Basically true. So now Destin is lying again here, by the way. No, I'm playing Final Fantasy 16 on my $5,000 PC. Let's take a look here, folks. Let's rewind a little bit here. He's been complaining about the price of the PlayStation 5 Pro, but then he has a $5,000 PC that he's playing Final Fantasy 16 that just recently dropped on there, when he's had the ability to play it on the PlayStation 5, which he does own, by the way. That's what I think is the best part. You get these fanboys that still have to own another system like the PlayStation 5, akin to their Xbox, akin to their PC, so make that make sense. You have a PC and an Xbox, which is really a synonymous ecosystem at this point in regards to games available to both ecosystems. Kind of redundant, right? And I know I went over that multiple times before, but it's worth speaking again. But then to sit there, it's so contradictory, right? $5,000 on a PC, his $5,000 PC. Why would you console game at all at that point? The point is, if you want the best of everything, and eventually the PlayStation first-party games will come to PC, but again, yes, if you want to play those day one and not wait 1 to 2 years or whatever the case is, then I can see you owning a PlayStation, right? Even if you have that $5,000 rig. But then why are you pocket watching? Why are you taking jabs at a PS5 Pro that is on par, and we just seen you get shut down? Now this post right there was made before he got shut down by Digital Foundry there, but nonetheless, you love to see it here, folks. Let's go on to another example here. It's been a minute, but I really wanted to bring back the great Jamie Moron here because he has idiotic takes a lot and acts like he's not biased and all that. It's so weird, but then he'll preemptively block. But anyways, Jamie Moron here. One of the biggest benefits of Xbox hardware is playing games from 4 generations on one box natively. Like the Xbox 360 title Mirror's Edge, which is 4K, 60 FPS, 16 times anisotropic, I can't even say the word right now. Anisotropic, I can't say the word, I'm sorry. Filtering, quick resume, instant loading, like a free remaster. So folks, from Xbox Series X, as he shows here, Mirror's Edge, because again, the one thing I love to do when I buy a brand new next-gen console or a beefed-up current-gen console, whatever you want to name it at this point, the first thing I want to do is play my older games. That's why I buy a new system, not to play the new games, not to play the first-party drops, not to play the brand-new drops from third parties as well, but I like to go back and play things from 2 to 3 generations ago. That's my main goal. Do we see why his name is synonymous with Moron? He is a moron. It's just absolutely insane. I love it. I love to see it. I love to break it down because it's just like, that's your selling points, is playing previous gen. Some of these PC elitists too like to go back and be like, we can play all these older gens, we can emulate, we can do this and that. That's fantastic. Good for you. But again, the point stands. The point I'm making right now is I do not buy new hardware. I do not buy a new generation or current generation console to play old games. That to me is asinine. That to me is, again, kind of a redundancy thing. If you really want to do that, if you really want to encompass that, hold on to your older hardware, or again, play on PC, emulate, do whatever you want to do. Legitly, legally, right? I don't condone piracy unless it's really, really a good cause. You can't get to the titles, blah, blah, blah. You know how that goes. But just take a moment, see how ridiculous posts like this are. No matter what you're saying there, Moron, no one's going to additionally buy an Xbox because of what you're saying there. Why do people buy new stuff? To play the new games, the latest, the greatest, the hype, all that stuff. Now, let's continue on here real quick. What I love to see here, this guy takes L's daily. I really don't know. I even have a lot of shame and secondhand embarrassment from, as you can see here, Gaming Profit NYC. Now, all I see on my timeline are PlayStation fanboys capping for a PS5 Pro that doesn't exist. The PS5 Pro is nothing more than rumors, and trust me bro, hearsay. PlayStation fanboys know that the Xbox Series X will be the best place to play GTA 6, so they want the PS5 Pro to save them. Now, obviously, this is an older tweet. It's not that old, though. It really isn't. Made just a couple months ago, folks. So I just wanted to bring this one up because, like I said, he consistently takes L's every day. Personally, I'd probably deactivate my account if I was this wrong and full of crap on the daily. But even at the time that he made this post, it was very heavily rumored with deep insiders saying, no, this is a real thing. Dev kits were out there in the wild and leaked photos. To say that this wasn't a real thing is insane. But on top of that, it's just, do you see the delusion there? Do you see the folks that follow folks like this, right? Nothing but lies, misinformation, and stuff like that. What does that do to a fan base? To me, if I was following someone full of lies, it's so odd. So odd to me because you're letting yourself down. It messes with your psyche, right? I would think it would mess with your psyche, your emotions. It makes you an unhappy person to follow somebody that's lying all the time. Why not just accept the truth? It's not that bad. The truth is not that bad, folks. You just have to accept it, right? Speaking of Final Fantasy 16, if you know, you know. Click in all R3 and L3 to accept that truth. Do it. You're going to feel better about yourself, and you're going to be better as a whole as well. But that being said, let's quickly move on before we make this too long here. There's this never-ending salt, folks. Now, I don't want to keep going without our good friend, of course, Colt Eastwood here, and there's going to be plenty of examples going forward with this gentleman here again. But he posts, of course, as you can see, Xbox Series X, power your dreams, all that good stuff. Colt Eastwood stating how PlayStation is giving you less for too much money with PS5 Pro at $700 instead of $550. So you're telling me the new speckled 2TB Xbox Series X being $600 is not less for too much money? And you think that something that's severely more powerful, and yes, I'm going to say severely because it is quite the jump to ensure you're getting those 60 frames 4K and so on, and you're going to think it's going to be only $550. Again, Digital Foundry came out already and said in order to get the equivalent on a PC, you're going to have to spend much more than $700. This really is a great deal for what it's offering. All things considered, what these shills and mouthpieces are telling you, again, with misinformation. Accept the truth, understand that, and it's okay, and you can move on and still game on what you want and how you want. The answer is very simple and lies there within, right? As you can see, but I just love it. He's got a damage control all the time. Again, Colt Eastwood, also a PC owner and player, but has to sit there and downshill that, right? Yes, I made up that word, downshill. Take it as you like, we'll see, but you just gotta love it. So one more thing, again, before I make it too long here, and I got plenty of other examples here, but we'll save that for a part 3, part 4. I don't think the PlayStation 5 Pro stuff is going to end anytime soon, especially until it even releases, but there's going to be much more on that. But let's end here with a great video. I don't want to spoil it here. This is a good one. Look at the delusion. We'll touch base. Here you go.
It was our first attempt, all right? This is here to try to bring it up to where it should have been.
I wonder. And again, I'm not a tech guy, folks, so I'm literally making a statement, and if I sound like a boob, it's because, well, I don't know tech like that. But I wonder, C-Money, because of now there's a Pro PlayStation, and it's going to be potentially in some areas a pinch better than the Series X. Now that these devs will be making games for the market leader's box, and making a Pro version of said game
that they're forced to make. They have
now
to do
they're
a pro
for
version.
that's it. Now they're forced to take advantage of the Series X power, and I wonder if that happens, will the Series X games then outperform the Pro? Because again, it's coming from someone that's not a tech guy. I'm simply just asking the question: if they're gonna make the Pro version, which is using all the bells and whistles, and then the Xbox Series X, that's always the one kind of just lessened because they were making it for the PS5, which is a lesser powerful console, and now there's a PS5 version, a Pro version. The Series X version is going to be made because now they are being forced to make this better version. At some point, does now the Series X outperform the Pro? It's a phenomenal
We've
question.
seen it the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's be clear. The PlayStation 5 only has...
All right. It's like I was saying, what we have here is a prime example. Now, folks, we deal with a lot of delusional people. Boomstick XL and company are, no exception. They continue to lie, show misdirection, spread that misinformation like we consistently go over here on this channel with the Xbox fanboys and all the above. But the fact that he outright fabricates himself in regards to, look, now I'm not a big old tech guy, but he already outs himself right away. If you hear that from anybody else before they start making a point, turn it off. Save yourself some time, give yourself some time back in your day, and just move on. Because they already ousted themselves in regards to them not knowing what they're talking about, not feeling confident in what they're talking about. It's different. Again, it's different if they set it up like, hey, I'm not a tech guy, but my opinion is okay. But he takes it as gospel. I'm not a tech guy, but take this as gospel, by the way. And then starts to play what ifs with the co-host as well, right? That is pure delusion, to sit there and spin this narrative to make themselves feel better, to make the fan base feel better. And it does nothing but harm the fan base. It does nothing but harm the brand. And nobody does anything about it. No one says and calls them crap. Now, I do want to give a quick shout out, by the way, to D-Batch, because recently, and he still is an Xbox guy, but he has come to the realization and been calling these guys out. So props to him for doing that. Just an FYI, if anybody knows who D-Batch is, he has been doing that at the very least and being, forthcoming with information and being honest, and really been taking these guys to task and be like, stop the delusion, guys. We can still like Xbox. We can still play on it. We can still game, but stop the nonsense. And that's all that needs to happen. You can have a preference. You're always going to have a preference on any type of entertainment that's out there, whether it's car brands, whether it's clothing, whatever the case is. That's the quick TED Talk here. But again, why the lies? Why the misinformation? It's not going to sell more consoles. It's not going to fix the ecosystem. What's going to fix the ecosystem in consoles and the brand to the fan base and fans is being absolutely honest. Do you see where we're coming from here? Being honest and accepting that truth. That is the theme of the video today, accepting that truth, right? That being said, we'll wrap up the video here, folks. I really appreciate it. You guys, as always, are phenomenal. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you haven't already, leave a like and a comment. Would love to hear from you. This also helps out the algorithm. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. We are getting so close to that 2,500 subscriber goal. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate that. And of course, as always, just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.